Join me now is Cedric Maxwell and
Rondo.
All right, what happened? What happened? What happened?
I think the best team won at the end of the day. I think if you look at Philadelphia, what they had and how that game really changed around is when Joel Embiid came back. A healthy 76er team really had more weapons than the Celtics at the end of the day. You won your 3 games. Yes, you did. I thought the series was over. I'm like you. I thought it was over. Had never been done in the history of the Boston Celtics being up 3-1 that they lost.
You calling Philly a better team?
I think it was when you
Max,
look at
the Celtics blew Philly out of the gym twice by 32 points.
But
in both games, by 32 points.
But when Joel Embiid came back, that changed the tenor of the game.
But he wasn't healthy.
He was.
No, he's coming back.
Did he play like he was healthy? Did he look like he was having anything wrong? I think that, what you did, and then the matchups were bad because then you had Joel Embiid and you had nobody really to control him or corral him. He played particularly well. Maxey played well. And even that, Steve, even when you talk about 7 games, and you'll hate for me to say this, but at the end I was proud of the Celtics for the way they played, especially in the 7th game, because they were down and out. Yeah, they could have did like those Atlanta Hawks down there, those Atlanta Birds down there, and gave up and not play. And Joe Mazzulla had them play, and they had an opportunity to win the game at the end, which was absolutely crazy. The building was alive. It was electric. It was fun to be in there. But what you'd like to tell me, they didn't attack the rim anymore.
Yeah, because here's the deal, Max. You live by the 3, you die by the 3. They missed like 50 threes. They were like 13 for 50 from the 3-point line.
That is who they are. At the end of the day, there are 3-point.
How about making adjustments? How about going to the hole?
Okay, who?
Jaylen Brown did that.
Jaylen Brown did. Who else?
How about Pritchard?
Pritchard's not. You give him a guy who's 6 feet tall going up against the 7-footers? No.
Oh, Pritchard did a little loop-de-loop and underneath and scored.
Loop-de-loop. It was tough. It was tough on them.
At the end of that game, you had Embiid beat up. Okay, he's hobbling down like you when you got older, hobbling down the court. Okay, Maxey took over the game. Man, you know why? Because he knew he couldn't go to Embiid anymore. He attacked the rim,
and then Maxey attacked the rim.
That's right.
And did you have any shot blockers at the end of the day? Who protected the rim? There was a lot of mismatches out there for the Celtics. And then on top of that, didn't have Jason Tatum playing last night, and I think that
surprised you.
I was shocked, really. When I got to the building, all of a sudden somebody says, Tatum's not playing. I was like, what do you mean?
Game 7.
I just did not know. But what I know about basketball, what I know about basketball now, is you are going to protect a guy like that from himself. I think that what you were looking at was the same thing when you have a knee injury or you have a calf injury. You look at what happened with Kevin Durant. Same thing. Had a calf injury and then blew out his other Achilles. They were protecting him, and I understand that. And if he had been healthy, I know he probably wanted to play. But a lot of that has to do not with the players anymore, but with the coaching staff, with the medical staff.
So who's the final say?
I think it's the medical staff. Is the one, that has the final say in these situations.
So they're saying not playing.
I think that's how they had to be. I don't think that it's the player. I think it's more the medical staff because players want to go. They always want to go. But in this particular case, I think the medical staff made a decision and they had to stick with it.
Any big changes coming?
There'll be some changes, but I don't see a lot of changes because you're looking still kind of, you've reset the money with this team. You saw Vukovic, which you thought was going to be coming in to help you. He didn't play last night. He didn't even get in the game last night. How is he going to fit in this situation with the Celtics? The Celtics had 6 guys last night, and 6 guys scored as many points as me and you at the end of the day.
How about Mazzulla?
Mazzulla is great. Mazzulla is great. I love him from a standpoint of being fiery and understanding his players. Steve, this is supposed to be a gap year.
Max, don't tell me
I don't care, Steve. It was
a gap year after this.
It was.
Okay.
It was supposed to be a gap year. Did you,
Max,
Steve?
Went beyond the gap stuff. It's like the Patriots.
Let me ask you this.
It's like the Patriots.
Steve,
okay. This is supposed to be a down year. No, they go to the Super Bowl.
Steve, did you think the Patriots were going to win the Super Bowl?
I thought they had a chance. I did. At the not the start of the season, I didn't.
Okay.
But as the season went along, and by the time they got to the Super Bowl, yeah, I thought they had a chance of winning. Yes, I did. Don't give me that look. I did, and I expected the Celtics to show up in Game 7.
They did show.
They did show.
They did show up in Game 7.
Game 7, Max.
You would. Look. I'm a Game 7 person.
I know.
So I understand what you're saying. I think that the Celtics played hard. They had an opportunity to win that game late, and they battled to get back in there. That's what was really crazy. They battled to get back.
They cut it to one.
Cut it to one. The building was
But they kept launching threes.
Steve, that's who they are.
Max,
that's who they are.
If they're not going in, adjust.
Steve, that's who they are. You can't. It's just like going to a prom and you go with your one girl, and all of a sudden you see another pretty girl. You say, "I think I'll take her," and you go home with nobody. You do what you do to get there, Steve. That's what you do. You're a 3-point shooting team.
What
you
kind
don't
of analogy
change.
Is that?
You don't change in the middle.
Sometimes you have to make adjustments.
What's that thing? You don't change horses in the middle of a stream. They didn't. They're a 3-point shoot. Matter of fact, they've said before, hey, let's shoot more threes.
Max, 50.
Steve,
okay.
You and I
argue with this
no. You and I are old school, and I truly believe that there is something about attacking the rim. Cater wasn't bad later in the basketball game doing it, but they just did not have enough pieces at the end of the day.
Okay.
They definitely look at Jason Tatum as one of those guys who attacks the rim.
We got to go. Great seeing you.
Absolutely.
Rondo.
This was a rough one today. You took me through this one.
You ain't lying. Thank you, buddy.